right, the legal team around Donald Trump calling a decisive win now that Judge Juan Merchan is allowing the president-elect to file a motion to dismiss the New York criminal, the hush money case against him that could delay a sentence indefinitely if it ever happens at all. Andy McCarthy is with us right now, the former assistant U.S. attorney, Fox News contributor. Andy, you just increasingly get the sense this case is disappearing. Am I right?
Well, it has to disappear for 4 years, Neil, because while President Trump is in office, it won't be possible as a legal or practical matter to proceed against him. So I think it'll be disappearing from our consciousness in any event, because there's not enough time to get through the litigation that's on the table and impose sentence, enter a judgment of conviction, and run with the appellate process before January 20th. So obviously it's got to be suspended.
And it is a little weird, right, where the judge involved says that Donald Trump and his legal team can go ahead and file a motion to dismiss the case. That's unusual, is it not?
No, after people get convicted, it's a commonplace to file a motion to vacate the guilty verdict. That happens all the time. What's unusual in this case, Neil, is that the basis for filing the dismissal motion mostly arose after the trial. So, for example, the Supreme Court's immunity ruling came out a month after the jury verdict. And now you have this unprecedented situation where the defendant pending sentence gets elected president, which I think everybody is trying to wrestle with the legal complications of that, because on the one hand, it's the law that federal courts usually won't interfere with state criminal proceedings, but it's also constitutional law that state officials and governments can't take actions that prevent the federal government from functioning. So they're trying to grapple with these things.
And as you indicate, it's a state criminal case. Enter New York Governor Kathy Hochul, who could conceivably pardon the president-elect, right? I mean, how likely is that?
I think it's unlikely, because my Neil is that the trajectory of this is that they're pushing to a suspension for the 4 years while Trump is president. It's going to be off the radar screen. And my own view is, 5 years from now, when former president or President Trump leaving office will be 83 years old and a twice elected president, hopefully coming off a successful term as president, no prosecutor in his right mind would want to take that case. So I think it may go away then, but I don't think it's going to go away now.
Separately, you're hearing this talk that the Trump administration, even though Jack Smith is leaving and wants to leave before Donald Trump assumes office, that the president and his team are looking at firing all of Jack Smith's team. I don't even know if that's accurate, but can he do that?
Well, not really. I mean, he can get rid of political appointees. Smith is a political appointee, so if he was trying to stay, he could be fired. But most of these other people are career DOJ people who have civil service protection. Now, President Trump is going to enter or re-enter. He did this executive order the first time around to try to give him broader ability to fire people who had civil service protection. You can always get rid of political appointees. It's the career people who are tough to get rid of. Biden reversed it when he came in. Trump is promising to reinstate it, but the second he tries to fire someone under it, it's going to court, and who knows how long it'll be tied up in court. So I'm hearing the same things you're hearing, all this talk about like mass firings. It's not going to be possible to do mass firings. I'm hearing all this stuff about we're going to investigate the 2020 election fraud. There's a 5-year statute of limitations in federal law. You're not going to be able to bring 2020 cases in, 2025, 2026 as we go down the road. So I think this is the kind of thing, you and I hear this all the time. This is like the sort of interregnum between the election and the inauguration, where there's a lot of talk about what's going to happen. And then I think January 20th comes and events start to happen, and all this talk kind of dissipates.
So you don't think it'll amount to much? Because, Pam Bondi, of course, his choice for Attorney General, has said, and said so several times, that it's perfectly proper to prosecute the prosecutors. Is it?
Yeah. Well, if they violated the law, it's very difficult to prosecute government officials because the way the law works, if you have a lot of leeway to prosecute, say, prosecutors and police, they may not do their jobs, and that harms public safety. So for that reason, those cases are very difficult to bring, and it's really important to deny bad people the power in the first place because it's going to be very hard to prosecute them after they do stuff. So yes, you can investigate people, and if it turns out that they violated the law, that's one thing. But you're not going to be able to make a criminal case on Jack Smith or any of those other people. They exercise prosecutorial discretion. I don't agree with a number of the charges that they brought and a lot of their legal analysis, but that doesn't make it criminal. That just means that we have a disagreement. And frankly, you know, Trump is not going to be a two-term president. He's going to be a one-term president. He's got about 18 months to 2 years to get stuff done. If you waste your time on this stuff that's going to come to nothing, you won't get to do the important things like border security, crime in major cities in the United States where parts of them are unlivable. Those are the things that you can actually make an impact on going forward. And I think they're going to need all the energy they can for that because they've got a very tight window to get stuff done.
Indeed, a limited time frame, to put it mildly. Andy McCarthy, great seeing you. If we don't talk again, my friend, have a great Thanksgiving. We're very thankful for your legal expertise all the time. Andy McCarthy on that.